Welcome to FPL Cheat Sheet Briefing, the podcast that gives you a data-driven edge in the Fantasy Premier League.
We are back, and game week 18, it's a big one. It feels like one of those real turning points in the season.
It really does. You're at a crossroads, Do you go for those quick points, or do you start planning for the next few weeks?
That's the mission, and we have the data right here to answer it. We're going to break down the optimal wildcard, the best free hit, and of course, the differentials team.
But first, we have to look back. We always do. Game week 17. Because the data, it didn't just deliver, it shouted from the rooftops.
It really did. And the biggest call, the most crucial one, was about the triple captain chip.
Oh, yeah?
The model was screaming, basically, to use it on Haaland against West Ham. He got 16 points.
16 points. And you multiply that by 3, that's 48 points. From one guy, you listen to that, your rank just exploded.
That's not just luck, that's the model identifying a huge opportunity, a total data win.
So let's look at the teams overall. The wildcard team from last week, how did it do against the numbers?
So we predicted 66.73 expected points. The team actually hit 68.
So just ahead.
Just ahead, yeah. And a lot of that obviously was the Haaland score, but the defense was incredibly solid. That was the foundation.
Who were the key players there?
It was that consistent back line. We had Calafiori, De Kuyper, and O'Reilly all returning 6 points each. That's fantastic value.
And the small disappointments.
A couple of midfielders were just okay. Cherki with 4, Palmer with 5. The only real, data miss was Fernandes, just 1 point.
Ouch.
Yeah, but that's variance. It's exactly why we trust the long-term expected points model. It smooths that stuff out.
Okay, let's talk about the free hit team, because that one was something else. It hit 78 actual points.
Against a prediction of 67.92. That's a huge overperformance.
A massive margin. What was the magic there?
It was a masterclass in short-term thinking. Semenyo was the big one. He delivered 10 points for us. But the real insight, I think, was the bench structure.
You're talking about benching Broja. That felt like a risk at the time.
It did. And look, he came on and scored 7 points in 25 minutes. But the analytical call was still the right one. You start the player with the higher probability over 90 minutes.
And you avoid the risk.
Exactly. Plus, the model correctly picked Sanchez over Petrovic in goal. A small but important win.
All right, last one for the retro. The differentials wildcard. The high-risk, high-reward squad.
Yep, where every player is owned by 15% or less. We predicted 62 point new expected points, and it hit 65.
So, it also beat the prediction.
It did, even with those risky picks. Gordon was the star there, 10 points. And the defenders, Jordiel and O'Reilly, came through with 6 each.
And we have to talk about the auto sub. It was like poetry.
It really was. So Welbeck didn't play. And the auto sub brought in Cunha from the bench.
Who got 9 points.
9 beautiful points. That's why your bench matters. The model is just as rigorous about the bench as it is the starting 11.
Okay, proof is in the pudding. The data works. Now let's look ahead. Game week 18. Let's start with the optimal wildcard team.
Right. So this is the team built for the long haul. Value is 99.8 million. Starting 11 expected points is 57.
Okay.
But the bench boost potential is 67. And the whole strategy, the entire thesis, is built around one thing. Newcastle's fixture run.
Right. Their fixture difficulty rating, the FDR, is incredible. So we're stacking them.
We're stacking them. 3 Newcastle players. Look at the games. Man United, Burnley, Palace, Leeds, Wolves. The model sees so many points there over the next 5 weeks.
Who gets the armband in a long-term build like this?
It's still Haaland. He's the anchor.
Yeah.
The safest, highest expected points captain on the planet. But if you want an alternative, Palmer and Ekitiké are very strong vice captain options.
Okay, I see Cherki in there, but let's talk differentials. The model is really high on McNeil from Everton. Almost nobody owns him.
Yeah, his ownership is basically 0. He's 5.5 million. And the reason is purely statistical. His expected goal involvement has just surged recently.
Because of a tactical change.
Exactly. He's playing Burnley this week, and the model sees a huge probability of returns that almost everyone else is missing. He's a calculated gamble.
I also have to ask about Woltemade. The fans call him Woltemessi. Is this a serious data pick?
I know. It sounds like a bit of fun, but it's a calculated risk. His recent minutes and forward positioning give him an edge over other budget forwards in a good fixture. We pair him with Gordon and Murphy in midfield, doubling down on that Newcastle bet.
And in defense, I see some familiar faces. O'Reilly and Calafiori again.
They're staples. We've added Lewis Potter from Brentford, 4.8 million, great value at home to Bournemouth. But here's a key tactic.
Go on.
You have to bench De Kuyper this week. He plays Arsenal, his expected points are low, but you keep him. because in the next 2 game weeks, they explode. You play the fixtures.
Play the long game. Okay, so if that's the resilient wild card, let's talk about the opposite. The all-out attack, single-week free hit.
Right. Throw resilience out the window. This is maxed out at £100 million. Starting 11 expected points is 59, but the bench boost potential is huge. It's 71.
I see a lot of the same core players. Haaland, Ekitiké, Palmer, McNeil.
Yeah, the core is strong. You don't change what works. But the free hit lets us go all in on a specific fixture. And this week, that's Arsenal at home to Brighton.
So you bring in the Arsenal boys.
We bring in Saliba and Saka. That gives you 2 routes to a clean sheet, plus Saka's huge attacking threat.
Now let's talk about the ultra differential. The model has picked out Flemming from Burnley.
Right.
His ownership is tiny.
Less than 1%. He's 5.3 million. I mean, this is a massive statistical leap. It's a high-risk, high-reward punt you can only really justify on a free hit.
And the bench is still important, even for 1 week.
Always. You never neglect the bench. We've got Miley from Newcastle, 4.4 million. He's cheap, has high expected points for a bench player, and is likely to play. Perfect cover.
Love it. Okay, finally, my favorite part. The most fun squad. The Differentials Wildcard for Game Week 18.
This is the team for moving up the ranks. Max 15% ownership, valued at 98.7 million, with a starting expected points of 55.
The potential for rank jumps is way higher here.
That's the whole point. And it means the captaincy has to change. We can't use Haaland.
So who gets it?
We're giving the armband to Palmer. He's at about 11.4% ownership, so he just sneaks under the cap. Shirky is the vice captain. We trust Palmer's underlying data, the penalties, to deliver.
And the forward line is completely different.
Completely. We've got Gyökeres, Mateta, and Calvert-Lewin. All 3 have good fixtures, and their expected goal data looks really strong.
In midfield, you're sticking with the Newcastle double-up. But I also see Cunha from Man United.
Right. Gordon and Murphy are in there for that fixture run. But Cunha is a really key tactical pick. With Fernandes injured and Mbomo at AFCON, his role in that attack is about to get much, much bigger.
So his expected points are set to rise.
Exactly. The model's getting ahead of the curve. He's a situational differential.
And what's amazing is that even with all these differentials, the defense looks premium.
We spent big there. You need that stability. So we have Calafiori, Saliba, Gvardiol, and O'Reilly. A rock-solid back 4.
Which lets you spend a bit more on the keeper.
Precisely. We can afford to start Becker from Liverpool against Wolves. He has a great chance of a clean sheet and save points. It's a solid foundation for those riskier attacking picks.
A fantastic breakdown. Now, before we finish, we have to get to a listener question. There's a lot of buzz in the community. Someone asks, I heard something about FPLCheatSheet.com. Is it for real? What is it about?
I can officially confirm the rumor is 100% true. We are building a dedicated standalone app at FPLCheatSheet.com right now.
That is massive news for anyone who uses this data. What's the plan for release?
So right now, you can still use our tool on the Google page. The link is on our X profile. But that's temporary. We're aiming to release the full app in January.
And everyone should follow on X to get the announcement.
Absolutely. You have to follow us on X to be the first to know when it drops.
So what's the big benefit of this new tool for an individual manager?
It's the engine that runs everything we've just talked about. But for your team, it will calculate tailored expected points for all your players. And crucially, it will give you custom transfer suggestions based on your squad and your budget.
So no more guessing, just data.
It's for managers who trust what players actually deliver, not just gut feeling. The data doesn't lie.
The next evolution is here, people. Well, you know what to do. Follow FPL Cheat Sheet on X, subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and you can still use the current tool.
Yep. The link is in the X profile and the video description. But get ready for FPLCheatSheet.com in January. It's free, and it will be a game changer. Follow us on X so you don't miss it.
Okay, so bring it all home for us. One final thought for managers to think about heading into Game Week 18.
The key insight from the data isn't just about 1 week. It's about starting the right transfer sequence now. The model says to prioritize getting 3 Newcastle assets for their next 4 games. That's where the big rank boosts are hiding. It means being patient.
Even if it means benching a great player like De Kuyper against Arsenal.
Even then, you have to play the long game. Trust the fixtures.
Excellent. Trust the data managers. We wish all of you a good game week.